Happy Monday, folks. Back at it here, 16th day of June, 2025. I am Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We're already halfway through the month of June. What the heck is going on around here? What a beautiful Father's Day weekend. It was gorgeous. 78 degrees was the high on Saturday. 84 yesterday. Warmer than that today. Gradual cool down. And then we're going to be actually below normal by the time we get to the weekend with quite a bit of cloud cover, maybe even a little bit of rain. The big story today is going to be the wind. We have a red flag warning. It starts at 2 o'clock this afternoon, goes until 9 o'clock tonight. The recipe is there. Bone dry relative humidity, below 20%. Warm weather, strong winds, all of that adds up to a red flag warning. Hopefully we'll get past today without any kind of fires. We'll do the complete weather forecast. There's a lot going on, very active weather pattern heading our way for north central Washington. A lot of news. Our cameras were at the No Kings protest about a block and a half from where our studios were on Saturday afternoon. We'll show you footage of that. And one of the featured speakers, we have sports. Good weekend for the Mariners, good weekend for the Apple Sox. Yeah, sweeps all over the place. We'll have that in sports. And in the back half of the program, during our conversation piece, we're going to revisit our conversation with the two brand new owners of the Plaza Superjet, my favorite store, Wiley Goins and Abel Chavez. We went and paid them a visit a couple weeks ago to find out the transition from Jeff retiring and Wiley and Abel taking over, and all the cool little charms and quirks that makes the Plaza Superjet one of everybody's favorite stores here in north central Washington. All coming up on this Monday edition. It's tour time. Let's do it. Head on out on these long, long days. Sunrise this morning like it was yesterday and will be tomorrow, 5:03. Sunset tonight, 9 o'clock. The first of our 9 o'clock sunsets. That's 15 hours and 56 minutes of daylight as we look out over the Wenatchee Valley. Of course, the longest day of the year is actually going to be the summer solstice. Doesn't necessarily always fall on the summer solstice, but this year it does. Friday at 7:41, if you want to be exact. 7:41 in the evening is the summer solstice here in our neck of the woods. Camera number 2 as we transition for the Wenatchee Valley to a tree branch. I'm assuming that's the Tumwater Canyon camera. I don't know, but I can't think of anything else. That's a lovely, lovely branch from a tree. Looks to be a ponderosa, hard to tell from here. Anyway, good morning to that tree. Thanks for watching. Camera number 3. Oh my, that's got to be the Butte. I got to think that's the Upper Butte, way above Chelannis, the Waterville Plateau we're looking at. In fact, you can actually make out Waterville. Can't quite make out the Columbia River, maybe a little sliver of it down in the lower left-hand corner. That's our Chelan Butte camera. So we move that to the left and we get to see Chelan, almost all of it. As a matter of fact, that's up there a ways, about 4,300 feet above sea level, and doesn't look like there's any wind at all on Chelan Butte, looking out towards the orchards down below in Orondo and up on the Waterville Plateau. Camera number 4. I'm enjoying this. There we go, Stein Hill. Hey, that's a reminder. They're doing some construction work today, folks. As you know, they're putting in a pedestrian-controlled crosswalk and lights in Peshastin. You're going to find single-lane flagger-controlled traffic there. That's the stoplight at Peshastin where you can get into downtown Peshastin. They're doing some work there. And also the bridge that heads into Leavenworth, they're doing some work there as well. So little traffic issues in the Upper Valley. They're doing some work in the Peshastin area at that stoplight that we're all familiar with. And then as you head into Leavenworth, cross over the bridge, they're doing some work there as well. So heads up, you might get slowed down a little bit. Couple of slides to show for you. Red flag warning. We don't like these. We're going to have windy conditions, bone dry relative humidity below 20%. Right now it is only 48%. And this is the time of the day when relative humidity is at its highest. It's going to get bone dry. It's going to be very warm into the 80s, close to 90 today, and very strong winds. And we add those things up, we have a red flag warning. And speaking of winds, we are right smack dab in the middle of the target. There you go. These are wind gusts today, not sustained winds, but wind gusts. Sustained winds are going to be pretty good. Right out of the west, right to the east, about 10 to 20 miles an hour. It's going to gain a little momentum as it goes through those Cascade gaps and wind gusts up to 35 miles an hour. We're going to have humidity, relative humidity below 20%. So again, any fire that gets going, any kind of toehold will take off in a big way because we are well behind on precipitation. We haven't had measurable rain in a month, and even then it was like 1/100th of an inch, which wasn't much. Do we have some rain in the forecast? Possible. From the National Weather Service, here it is. Sunshine today, but again, very windy, especially this afternoon. Red flag warning goes from 2 o'clock to about 9 o'clock tonight. A little bit warmer than yesterday. It was 84 yesterday. Will be 86 today. Still windy tonight. It's not going to die down a lot. 56 for the overnight low. A little bit cooler on Tuesday. It's all relative. 84 degrees. Very little wind on Tuesday. That's nice. Wind picks up again on Wednesday. A little bit cooler with a high of 80. Thursday looks good. Sunshine. Highs in the lower 80s. The windy days are going to be today, tonight, a little bit on Tuesday, and a little bit on Wednesday. Thursday looks very calm, and then here comes the system on Friday. Later on in the day, we'll see quite a bit of cloud cover. By Friday night and Saturday, we have a chance of rain for the first time in a long time. In fact, Friday with a high of 73 for the first day of summer isn't going to really feel like summer, and the first full day of summer on Saturday is going to feel more spring-like than summer-like. So there you go. We're going to finally get a pretty nice cool down by the latter half of the week. We're going to take a break that will last a couple of minutes, then we'll come back with the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. TourMosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
Beautiful morning, 61 degrees, lots of sunshine, red flag warning because of very strong winds this afternoon and tonight. Temperature will be in the 80s for the next 3 days, and then we cool down in time for the first weekend of summertime. 9 minutes after the hour, about 1,000 people gathered at Memorial Park in Wenatchee to commemorate No King's Day. It was a protest about the administration's policies, the Trump administration policies. There was all over. All 50 states had No Kings protests and demonstrations. Our cameras were there, and take a look at what we shot. Let's go through the. Let's go ahead and move forward.
I was advised by two good friends to be careful what I say. But you know what? There's a time when things need to be said. I'm a Vietnam veteran. And when I served, I volunteered, I wasn't a citizen of the United States of America because I believe in democracy. And I will say it loud and clear that I do not serve a king, I serve democracy.
That was community leader Dr. Jorge Chacon, a Vietnam veteran. Again, about 1,000 people, give or take a couple, it was kind of hard to count, gathered at Memorial Park on Saturday. Well, supporters of the Decker family have announced a public memorial service for Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, the three Wenatchee sisters found murdered June 2nd in the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. The girls had been missing for 3 days after being taken by their father for a scheduled visitation. Organizers say they will honor the children's memory. It'll be at 7 o'clock this Friday, June 20th, at Rocky Reach Dam Park, north of Wenatchee. Parking, as you might imagine, is limited, so shuttles will be offered from Old Station and from Lincoln Elementary School. That's where Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia were all students. Arrangements for the sisters' funerals are being managed by Brookside Funeral Home. The girl's father, Travis Decker, is still at large. He is still sought as the lone suspect in the triple murder. He is thought to have escaped into the Enchantments Wilderness area. The $20,000 reward is still there through the United States Marshal Service for information leading to his capture. The Lake Chelan School Board on Monday unanimously approved the placement of a school construction bond on the November ballot. The $73 million bond would allow the district to build a brand new elementary school, bring preschool into the elementary building, and add an ADA accessible fitness center to the middle and high school. Additionally, the bond would also improve Mountain Goat Field with a regulation-sized track. It would also update the district's metal and wood trades shops to bring them up to industry standards. The estimated bond cost is projected to be 9/10 cent per $1,000 of assessed property value. If voters pass the bond, Morgan Owings Elementary School will be eligible for $4 million in state construction assistance to minimize the cost to the district. A state audit report says the former director of the Port of Mattawa misused the agency's credit card and payroll accounts to the tune of at least $20,000. Lars Leland came on board as manager of the Economic Development Agency in 2018. He departed last year. The Washington State Auditor's Office now says Leland used the port's credit cards for about $7,000 worth of unapproved purchases over about 18 months and cashed out $13,000 in unused sick leave despite port policies forbidding that practice. There was another $10,000 in purchases, including food, fuel, and beverages that were marked as questionable. Auditors said they will turn over their findings to the Grant County Prosecuting Attorney's Office for possible criminal charges, but Leland has not been charged so far with any wrongdoing. And the Wenatchee Mountain Berry Bowls truck will celebrate its first anniversary on June 25th. The Smoothie Bowl truck was first launched in Whitefish, Montana by Jared and Lindley Lynch, but Caleb Ambrose and Brian Chudd decided to bring the business to the Wenatchee Valley just about a year ago. Caleb and Brian says it's been a busy year with their menu of smoothie bowls quickly gaining popularity with the locals around here. Looking back now, the pair says they've learned a lot of lessons along the way.
We have known each other since, well, I guess since I was born, because we're cousins. And yeah, so we used to spend time together in the summers, mostly in Montana. Brian's from Alaska, so they would come down, take a family trip, and we would hang at the lake and play soccer, and yeah, we grew up being boys together.
I would dominate him.
He would.
At everything.
He was way older, it wasn't fair. My wife and I living in Montana, we met the owners and became fast and good friends with the franchise owners of Mountain Berry Bowls. And then we were planning to move back to Wenatchee, and I always saw Wenatchee as a perfect spot to start a, I'll say, berry bowl truck.
My role in that, Caleb started talking to me about it about 5 years ago, probably, when he first started hanging out with Jared and Lindley. And he was like, man, they got something good happening. You should just stop what you're doing and move out here and do this with me. And I kind of laughed at the idea for a while, because it was well outside of my anything I knew. And But yeah, things just aligned at the right time, and we decided to jump and do it. We officially opened on the 25th of June, 2024. Some of the day-to-day challenges that we run into are weather. So when you're making the product we make, if it changes the consistency of certain things in the truck, the blend, if it's super hot, it's going to be a runnier blend, so you have to adjust what you're doing. Everything is gluten-free on our menu. It's dairy-free. There are certain things that could be, if people are allergic to honey, for instance, we have honey on the bowls. A lot of people will omit the honey or the bee pollen that we put on one of the bowls. The most popular bowl by far is our Bomber Bowl. Kind of has a little bit of everything, and then we have a lot of people that add mango to a lot of the bowls, but the Bomber Bowl especially is overwhelmingly our most popular one. We get probably half of our sales go to that bowl. So we have 2 locations. We have one permanent location, which is here at Works Gym, open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday, and 9 to 5 Saturday and Sunday. And then this truck behind me here is our events truck, and we go all over the place with that thing. For a lot of small businesses, I think, is when you first start in a small town, this might be, you're a flash in the pan, it's gonna die down. But we are consistently getting new people coming to the truck that are like, I've been wanting to try you, I haven't gotten a chance yet. And I think that's exciting for us because we feel like there's still a lot of room to grow, which surprises me in a town this size.
The community engagement is one of the most fulfilling parts of running this business with Brian. I've lived here on and off for 10 years total, and seeing all these events through the eyes of a business owner has been really unique and fun to engage with the community in that way. And so there's all these events that I never even knew existed until now, and we're seeking them out and we're being sought out, so that's a really fun way to engage with the community. One of our biggest lessons has been, over the past year, has been to know how far to extend ourselves and be sure not to overextend ourselves, which probably every small business that starts wants to rapidly grow, and that comes with its own growing pains, but it's very exciting to grow, and so we're really happy with the ability and flexibility with our franchise owners to have 2 units operating now, and really happy with where we've landed. It's a lot of work, but we're happy that we've been able to make that happen.
I mean, we're learning every day. I feel like I'm constantly in the steep learning curve, which I keep waiting for it to plateau, and it hasn't yet. But we're learning about the business, we're learning about advertising, we're learning about marketing, we're learning about how best to connect with different people in the community. It's a constant learning curve, and I like that. I like being challenged, and who knew that it would be in the smoothie bowl industry that would challenge me the most.
Well, I'm hungry. I don't know about you. That is the news here on this Monday. We will be gathering together in the newsroom and putting out a newscast for you tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10 on television, or as we like to say in the business, TV. If that does not work in your schedule, or you don't consume television in the traditional way, our news will be posted on our homepage, NCWLIFE.com. We'll put a link on our Facebook page. It'll also be on our YouTube page. And if you have a news tip, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. news@NCWLIFE.com. If you like the Mariners and the Apple Sox, you had a very nice Father's Day weekend. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Monday edition on the NCWLIFE channel.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
21 minutes after the hour of sports, J.P. Crawford hit a grand slam. Emerson Hancock tossed 7 scoreless innings, and the Mariners beat the Guardians 2-0 yesterday to complete a 3-game sweep. Hancock allowed just 2 hits. He walked just 1 batter, and he struck out 4, and he needed just 85 pitches through 7 innings.
Pops him up. Garver behind home plate today. Watches and now retreats. Watch. Oh! Wow! Look who just showed up. Miles Mastravoni on a slip and slide makes the catch.
Basically camped underneath this. He's far away. He's looking up at Mitch. Realizing, man, he's nowhere near that. It's unbelievable. Not to mention the fact you got Mitch Garver that can't see him.
Lined into right field and base hit. Rosarena scores. Mastravoni puts the Mariners in front. 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Now Miles jumping all over a pitch in the middle of the plate. That was a changeup, and you lost him. So all of a sudden, when you're on the mound, and I've fallen into this way too many times, where you feel that sense of urgency, you want to get into a good count, and then you get burnt by that first pitch.
Next pitch to Crawford. Fly ball, right field, back, gone! First Father's Day grand slam, J.P. Crawford. He's got that dad strength in him now. 5-0 Mariners.
We're so used to seeing him have that 2-strike approach where he just kind of slaps the ball into left field. This time gets that slider down and in, drives into right field.
Here is Tellez. Taken off for second and safe. Now Rosarena swipes his second base today.
And there's 2 elements to that, Randy.
Lined out towards left center, base hit. Now Rosarena scores easily from second base. An RBI single, Mitch Garver. And the Mariners tack on a run at 6-0.
It's not personal. They're getting a tough pitch in the middle of the plate. And that slider and driving that ball in for an RBI to the left center. They get the RBI knock.
Up the middle, cut off again by Schneemann. Quick throw, and he got him. What a play by Daniel Schneemann.
Had to go across the bag there. That was a really nice play.
Watch the range.
Goes down to the ground, gets it, comes up, fires a strike over to Kyle Manzardo at first base.
I hope we all get to know him a little bit better as the season goes along.
Tap to third. Jose on the run. Barehand grab.
Nice
throw
play.
to first. What a dynamite play by Jose Ramirez.
Fantastic job here by Jose, knowing the only chance he's got to make this play at first base is to barehand it. Kind of having to get a little bit of an in-between hop there, but secures the ball. Outstanding job of transferring. You can see it right there. Whole hand open. He's able to plant and throw.
2-1. On the ground, over to Polanco. He's got it, and that's the ball game. Vibes restored around the Mariners. A clean 3-game sweep.
Manager Dan Wilson admitted the weekend sweep was critical in getting the Mariners back on the winning track.
Really nice way to bounce back from a tough road trip with a great series like that and a great win today, coming off that great win last night. Can't say enough about the job that Emerson did today. Just coming out there, being completely aggressive in the strike zone. I don't even know how many first pitch strikes it was, but it was a ton. And, using his sinker, thought he had a really nice changeup today, mixing his slider from time to time. But, I think the combination of Emerson and the stuff that he had and the aggression that he had, and then getting a 5-run lead there early in that second inning. Big hit by Mastro to give us a lead, and then JP, kind of taking care of the rest there in that inning. We've just seen so many good at-bats from JP, and able to get a changeup, get something out front. Again, we talk about middle of the field. He's been using left field a lot, but it allows you, when you get that, breaking ball in the zone, you're able to get out front on that a little bit and pull it, and that's the one he got, and just a great at bat, put us up there, and then Emerson did the rest. The bullpen came in, slammed the door late. I thought Garv's at bat there too, getting that run in with 2 outs, another big at bat. Being able to just add on one more run, I thought was big for us there, and just a great win all around. Again, contributions up and down, good defense behind Emerson. Just a really, good afternoon, and a quick win.
That it was. By the way, Logan Gilbert activated yesterday. He will make his first start since April 25th tonight, when the Red Sox come to town. First of 3 games, Lucas Giolito will get the nod for Boston. First pitch is at 6:40. To the scoreboard yesterday, the Mariners, of course, shut out the Guardians. The Astros have now won 5 in a row. It took them 10 innings, but they beat the Twins, so the Astros have a 4.5 game lead over the Mariners. They have a 5.5 game lead over the Rangers, who beat the White Sox. The Athletics knocked off the Royals. The Angels are 7.5 games back after losing to the Orioles. Well, the Wenatchee Apple Sox swept the Port Angeles Lefties over the weekend. The Sox set team records for hits and total bases in a 21-9 blowout on Friday night. Saturday, Alec Johnson pitched 5 scoreless innings in Wenatchee's 3-0 shutout. And then yesterday, the Sox scored 4 in the first, 4 in the third, and 4 in the eighth. And they cruised to a 13-5 win. The Sox are tied with Bellingham for first in the WCL North. The Sox are off today. Then they have a non-league 2-game series. The Dub C Fish Sticks coming to town tomorrow and Wednesday. So to the scoreboard we go. Again, Wenatchee and Bellingham are tied at 11-4, so they are tied for the WCL North. Kamloops is 2 games back. They beat Edmonton 12-6. Edmonton is 2.5 games back. Nanaimo, who beat Kelowna, are 3 games back. Portland improves to 14-1 by beating Springfield yesterday in the West Coast League, and those are just some of the games that people are playing. 28 minutes after the hour, if you are a fan of James Joyce and the novel Ulysses, today is Bloomsday. The entire novel takes place over the course of one day, and that would be today. I tried reading it, I just couldn't handle it, and I'm a big reader. It is Arborist Appreciation Day for you folks who take care of our trees. It's Fresh Veggies Day. It's also National Fudge Day. We're going to do National Fudge Day. Now, before fudge was actually invented, fudge was, it meant nonsense or messing up, or it was a kid-safe cuss word. That's what fudge meant. And then, according to culinary lore, a Baltimore, Maryland confectioner and chocolate maker fudged a batch of French caramels. In other words, he messed it up. He was making them for Valentine's Day in 1886. The result was fudge, so we are told. The first fudge that was sold was to a Baltimore grocery store in 1886. The fudge cost approximately 40 cents a pound, which I suppose is a pretty good deal. And of course, there's all kinds of different fudges. Fudge isn't just chocolate. There's all kinds of fudges, and I want some right now. I'm having a Pavlovian reaction to that photo. It's the bottom of the hour. Today in history, the Victoria Hall Theatre in Sunderland, England was hosting a traveling magic show. The entertainers were Mr. and Mrs. Fay. There were a little over 1,000 kids in the theater. At the end of the show, it was announced that kids would be presented with a prize upon exit. They would have to go downstairs to the basement, pick up their prize, and then leave. But the bottom of the staircase at the Victoria Hall Theatre, the door at the bottom of the staircase opened inward. It opened inward, not outward. And there were not a lot of people around to maintain order, so the show was over. The kids want their prizes. They surged down the staircase towards the door. They could not get the door open because of all the kids crushed against the door, and the weight of the crowd behind the kids crushed them. 183 children died of suffocation. June 16th, 1883. Two behemoths celebrate birthdays today. June 16th, 1903, the Ford Motor Company is incorporated. It is still under the control of the Ford family. They are minority shareholders, but they have the majority of the voting stock. Ford didn't even go public until 1956. It is the 11th ranked overall American-based company based on global revenues. In 1997, not that long ago, 25% of all American cars sold were manufactured by Ford. Today, that number is 12%. But the Ford Motor Company did not need to be bailed out by the federal government. In 2009 and 2010, Chrysler and GM did, but Ford held their own. And Big Blue is 114 years old today. IBM is founded as the computer tabulating recording company in Endicott, New York. The company holds more patents than any other company in this country. Inventions by IBM include the ATM, the floppy disk, the hard disk, the magnetic stripe card, the UPC barcode, DRAM, dynamic random access memory, all patented by IBM. IBM's net income 10 years ago, $16 billion. Last year, their net income was $1.6 billion. But they are a behemoth, and they have offices in 179 countries. That's impressive. And 60 years ago to this very day, at Columbia Records Studio A on East 30th Street in Manhattan, Bob Dylan and his band records Like a Rolling Stone. And I still remember the very first time I ever heard that song. Whew. Let's do some birthdays, shall we? Two heavenly birthdays. The man who led the Apache tribe, who led raids on the U.S. on both farmers, settlers, and cavalry from 1848 to 1886. Probably the most famous Native American of all time. And he became that way because even though he was a prisoner of war, there was a profit to be made, so the Army stuck him at various fairs and festivals in the Midwest so you could pay a nickel to go see Geronimo. He didn't get any of the money, as you might imagine. Geronimo, born in the state in 1829, probably the most famous Native American in this country's history. Stan Laurel was one half of Laurel and Hardy, which understates things considerably. Kind of like Simon and Garfunkel. Simon wrote all the songs. Well, Laurel and Hardy, it was Stan Laurel who wrote and directed almost all of their films. He was the comedic genius behind Laurel and Hardy. Of course, if it wasn't for Oliver Hardy, it never would have worked. And they're still worth watching today, the shows that they did and the movies that they did. Stan Laurel, born in the state in 1890. And Phil Mickelson, who has finished second in the U.S. Open 6 times. He has won 3 Masters, 2 PGAs, and an Open Championship. And of course, as most people know, even though he plays left-handed, Phil Mickelson is actually right-handed. He is 55 years old today. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. If in the heat of summer your air conditioner starts conking out, hey, it ain't working, better call Alpine Air. Always your first call. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Mike McKnight has got an opinion, and then my conversation with the 2 new owners of the Plaza Superjet, Wada Goins and Abel Chavez. We had a great time visiting with those guys, and you'll see it when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. Tour MosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
Welcome to the Gilded Lily home, where something extraordinary is waiting for you. The Gilded Lily offers a unique collection of hand-selected, carefully curated items to help you celebrate all of life's special moments. From the budding chef to the home decorator to that very special occasion, there is an abundance of delightful gifts waiting for you. The Gilded Lily home, where you can step in for inspiration and leave with beautiful items to brighten any area of your home.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm a critic of Donald Trump. Duh. Now, some people don't like that. And some of the people who don't like my criticism of the man let me know they don't like it. And some of those folks explain that even if Trump does bad things, other politicians do bad things too. Well, you know, you think about it, that's a pretty immature argument, and it didn't even work with your mom when you were in 3rd grade. Now, some other people point out some of the supposed good stuff that our bully in chief is doing and ask me, well, what about these things? And my response is, he's the friggin' president of the United States, for pity's sakes. He better be doing some good things. His doing something positive, however, does not justify his attempts to dismantle our democracy. I just don't think so. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Ah, the joys of sitting in traffic, burning gas, donating your paycheck to parking enforcement. Or you could join us this June for Ride Transit Month. On Link, you ride for free, anytime, anywhere. Plus, Link's electric buses run on clean local hydropower. Thanks, Columbia River. So while you're saving some cash, you're also saving the planet. So hop on board Link for Ride Transit Month. Stress-free, wallet-friendly, eco-smart.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
If you pick up the May edition of Foothills magazine put out by our media partner, the Wenatchee World, you will see the handsome and now retired Jeff. The former owner of the Plaza Superjet has turned over his ownership to Wiley and to Abel, and they are going to take the tradition that is the Plaza Superjet, and they're going to keep the tradition going. It's a Wenatchee landmark and has been for 100 years. Again, you can watch this, you can pick up Foothills magazine at newsstands everywhere, or you can do both. We're back here at the PSJ, the Plaza Superjet, celebrating 100 years of business, and one of the new co-owners making that transition. Jeffrey is retiring, if not flat out retired. Introduce yourself to our television family.
Wiley Goins.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good.
I've known you for a long time, almost I think
Indeed.
from the time you've come here. This is my store, by the way.
Yeah.
You're in charge of buying this stuff, the beer, and this part of the store has exploded in popularity amongst the beer aficionados. You have found your niche here, haven't you?
I think so. It's, you know, one of the things that definitely sets us apart for people who come in, you know, asking for things, saying, can you get this or this? Because everybody says you're the place to go to get it. So, and we're more than happy to try to be that place.
Is this a new phenomenon, or has it been? Have you kind of seen the beer crowd? The people become more, I don't want to say beer snobs, but they are.
I would say the last decade or so, I think craft beer exploded pretty huge. I think it was already big in the Pacific Northwest, but in the last 10 plus for us, probably, a lot of that was Jeff is a fan of,
he likes his
of
ales.
good craft beers. So being the store owner, he thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could just buy that beer that I like at my own store? I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So, you know, we kind of all, you know, myself, Abel as well, we're all pretty big craft beer fans. So we all play a part in it. So it makes it easier when you all kind of share an interest in,
And you know what you're talking
caring
about.
that section a lot,
Right.
because you also want to try those new things.
Because when you're dealing with a major merchandiser, marketer saying, please carry our beer, they're trying to sell their product to you as opposed to somebody who knows their beer. Two entirely different things, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm fairly limited in some of I'm kind of a hazy IPA guy or an IPA guy. A lot of the stouts, porters, things like that. Sometimes I gotta look around the corner for Stan or Abel or somebody that I know likes that stuff a little bit more than I do.
I mentioned before we started rolling, I love the Dirty Face Pale Ale that Icicle Brewing rolls out. Can't really find it anywhere. You're gonna bring some in for me.
Absolutely.
You put it on the list, just like Joel does with the produce. So you've expanded the beer selection as well, beer and wine, I might add.
Yes.
There's more shelf space now at the Plaza Superjet than there ever has been for these beverages.
Yeah, yes, for sure. We've turned in quite a few of our end caps into beer ends. You were asking before we started, how do you make room for it if you don't have room? Well, you just find a spot. You know, we used to have cold doors. We had 75%, 90% of the cold doors were domestic beer, and slowly we've whittled that down to more and more craft doors. So now it's probably half and half, 4 and 4.
Maybe even more.
or-
I think maybe 60-40 breakdown, 60 craft and 40 just your generic national brands.
It may be, and then, you know, in the last probably 2 years, craft NA beers have exploded. Now everybody wants craft non-alcoholic stuff. Seltzer's still huge.
How do you keep ahead of the market? How do you know what's going to be so when people want to start buying this stuff, you got it?
A lot of that is the sales reps. You know, if you don't hear about it from a customer, which you usually do, sometimes things will hit in California first. Like I think the last one was the Humex hard juices. There were people, you know, that spend time in California saying, can you guys get this? So we were trying to get it for about 2 months, I think, before we finally could. And then we did, and, you know, everybody loves it at first, and then it kind of, you know, everything kind of settles out. And
the market corrects itself.
Some people still love it. Some people that wish they did, you know, they don't. But
one of the reasons the produce section is so popular here because it's fresh. He says it gets shipped almost every day. Beer
Exactly.
in and of itself, especially the craft beers, they have a shelf life.
Yeah.
And then you gotta 86 them. So how often does the fresh beer come rolling into the PSJ?
Well, 3 days a week at least, and then you know, you get some of the smaller companies that we're dealing with directly every couple weeks. You know, Old Schoolhouse is every 2 weeks. Culshan probably comes over from Bellingham I'd say once every 3 weeks or so. And so you try to order enough to, you don't want to run out, obviously, but you don't want to be sitting on a bunch of old warm beer either.
Yep. 2 more questions and I'll cut you loose because checker up front, as we just heard. The first question is, how much beer did you sell over Apple Blossom? Just curious.
How much beer?
Yeah.
I couldn't give you an honest number. I'd be making something up, but it's a lot.
Okay.
It's always a lot.
I love this show, this store. I love the Plaza Superjet. I've been coming here for decades, literally decades. You and Abel are now in charge. Are you going to make any changes, or are you going to things are going pretty good here? I just want you to promise that things are going to stay the same.
I've been here all this time because I stood by, what Jeff was doing. I believed in it, and I don't see a need to change a lot. If there is a big need to change, it's going to be because the customers let us know, and we're gonna adapt. We're gonna try to give people what they want and keep doing, providing great customer service, a unique selection of items,
and the best employees. They've been here a long time. Long time.
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, Stan's been here 20 years. You've been here 20 years.
Yeah.
Irma's been here 15 years, something like that.
Exactly.
That's when you have very low turnover. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Best of luck in your future, and I will see you every day for the rest of my life.
Yes.
This is my store.
Thank you. I will be here.
Absolutely.
Every day for the rest of both of our lives.
We'll be right back.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
You met Mr. Gnomes, one of the two new co-owners of the Plaza Superjet, the biggest little store in town. The other co-owner has been so kind to join us. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Abel Chavez. I'm one of the co-owners, like you said, here at the Plaza Superjet with Mr. Wiley Goins.
So how did this fall into your lap? You've been here for about a decade, right?
Yes.
Jeff knew he was going to retire.
Yes.
He wanted to retire. He's worked his butt off.
Yes.
He could have chosen anybody. He could have even, if he wanted to, go completely outside the organization. He didn't.
Absolutely. I mean, those are all options that he could have done. And actually, about 6 years ago, I left here to go to Quincy and run a store up there. And I was up there for a couple of years. I know Jeff had talked about selling to Wiley before. Never really me. So when I did go up there, Jeff had talked to Wiley, commented on Wiley, hey, what do you think about having a partner? I know that when I had a partner, things were a little better because you shared some of that responsibility. It wasn't always you. So Wiley got to think, and Jeff was like, hey, well, Abel. I think Abel would be great. So we've got different skills in different areas. Wiley, grocery, I'm a little more of the perimeter departments. I've been doing grocery for a long time. But Wiley was like, yeah, absolutely. So Jeff and Wiley presented it to me. Of course, I was on board, man. I was thrilled, absolutely. Just like you said, he could have gone anywhere, but Jeff wanted to keep it here, local. He wanted to keep it to the employees.
It speaks a lot. It speaks a lot for Jeff who everybody knows very well and respects.
Yeah, absolutely.
A great deal. Do you feel a little pressure of keeping the tradition of this great store going?
Absolutely, man. I mean, I've heard stories of just kind of how far it's come along. I've seen some of the pictures, and you just hear from people. It's just completely night and day. So, yeah, I mean, we want to keep it going. You know, there's doing a lot of things great here. You know, we're not trying to change anything drastically. You know, just keep doing the things we're doing, and you know, we share some of the same beliefs, and we want the same outcome. So, yeah, I mean, you know, we're gonna keep it going. We're not gonna change much, man.
It helps when your employees seem to be pretty happy here.
Yeah, it does. You know, just say, you know, happy employees generally just gotta do more, and they're, you know, I worked at different places. I've worked at grocery, and 95% of the time I'm happy to come to work, and I think, you know, everybody has, you know, some days.
We talked beer with your partner Wiley. We're in the meat department. This is the first time I've ever been on this side of the counter.
Yes.
People are very loyal to the cuts. And
yes.
You guys will do custom cuts.
Yes, sir. I mean, it just nowadays, a lot of places are going away from that. There's, it's already pre-cut. You've got those little portion packs of cryovac.
You can't talk to the butcher.
Yep, there's no one to talk to. You can't ask for a 4-6 pound roast. It's like, this is what we have. This is what you get. So we're still fortunate that we still have a butcher. You know, we can custom cuts, whatever you need. You know, we're more than happy to do it. And Jesse's actually great. You know, he's been doing it for a long time. And, you know, we're happy that we found him. But, yeah, our meat department, I don't know if you guys know, our meat is all local. So it's raised up in the Oroville area. It's taken down to Toppenish, which is the Washington beef. So I believe the process from, you know, when it's raised, getting processed to us is fairly quick. Yes. And you can taste it. I mean, you've got a lot of people here that say, come in here, it's just not me. You get the customers, it's just the quality. And I think that does contribute to the quality. Absolutely.
The produce is fresh every day. The beer is about every other day. The meat is pretty much almost every day.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely, man. We cut motto here, just cut less more often, because you just want to keep it fresh. You want to keep it looking nice and just red meat. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all fresh.
Do you get a chance to interact with the customers as much as you used to now that you're one of the guys in charge? I mean, that's part of the best parts of this job here is you get to meet an entire cross reference of the Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, no.
You get judges and law enforcement officers coming in, and you have inmates coming in who just got out of jail.
Yes.
You get it all here. But you're kind of stuck in the office now, right?
Well, you know, I get to be out here as well. I mean, that's one of the things that I enjoy. I'm still out here. I do have stuff to do in the office, and it has taken a little bit of time away from this, but I still make sure that, you know, I'm out here helping out customers, helping out the employees. I want to be a part of the team. You know, I go out here, if there's something they got to do, it's like, I've done it before. Hey, you know, we've all got to do it. So, but no, I mean, we interact with everyone, like you're saying. We see it all. And yeah, it's just fortunate that I still get to be a part of that, and I enjoy it.
Last question for you, Abel. We'll cut you loose. You're busy. What's a good day for you at the Plaza Superjet when 10 o'clock rolls around and the lights go off and everybody goes home? What's a good day for you?
You know, generally,
when Stan closes the store correctly?
Yeah, I mean, that does doesn't happen often, but I'm just kidding. You know, Stan does a great job. You know, he does great and all that. I think most days are great, man, to be honest. You know, it does help when things run smoothly. Sometimes we have, you know, last week we had new equipment installed, you know.
They seem to come onto it.
Yeah, so we've had stuff that happens. I mean, you know, coolers are going down, freezers are going down. It just kind of, not as much anymore, but, you know, any day that you can go through the day, employees are here, just kind of, things are running correctly, it is a great day. But at the end of the day, just kind of, you know, just knowing that everybody's just, you know, gets to go home and, you know, just happy to go home, it just kind of makes it a good day. I think generally it's great here.
For a lot of people, the Plaza Superjet is a store of convenience. If you have never been here, come.
Yes.
I mean, if it's out of your way, it doesn't matter. You should come here and check it out.
Yeah, no, I agree. Actually, you know, before I started working here, I didn't really know that this place existed. You know, when I saw they were posting online for, you know, they're looking for cashier, just kind of personnel here. So I applied. I kind of know what that is, you know, but I applied. There's a little grocery store. I have grocery retail. It's crazy, man. We have a little bit of everything. You know, we got produce, you got deli, you got coffee bar, you've got great selection of beer. So we got a little bit of everything. You know, we obviously don't have, you know, 20 or 30 different brands of mayonnaise, but
you don't need that.
Yes, exactly. So
right.
we just condensed. So yeah, no, it's great, but it's just a lot of people that I've talked to, it's kind of referred to as like a little hidden gem.
Yep.
So I completely agree. And
the one thing you will notice at the Plaza Superjet above all else, guys like Abel, they're all smiling. That means they're having a good time.
Yes, like I said, I enjoy being here. It's great to be here, and just having a great attitude, and it helps with our staff for sure to make things easier on all of us.
The best, absolutely best. All of them are.
Yes, thank you.
Abel, it's good to see you, my friend. I'm sure you got to go back to work, right?
Yes, you got lots of stuff to do, man. I appreciate you being here.
Anytime.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks for letting us come in and disrupt what would otherwise be a normal business.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, we're excited to have you guys here, and thank you.
You can't last 100 years unless you know what you're doing. And for you fans of the Plaza Superjet, and I may be the biggest fan of them all, you got nothing to worry about. Things continue to evolve and change to a certain extent, but this store will always have the charm that it has always had for 100 years. Congratulations to the new owners, and if you've never been to the Plaza Superjet, I highly recommend you do so. The odds are pretty good. You might see me.
Oh, happy day, Wenatchee Valley. Collins Fashions is looking forward to our famous summer weather. We are fully stocked with shorts, capris, skirts, tees, and tanks. Summer dresses have all arrived in many styles and colors. Special occasion dresses are on full display, and we have something for everyone. Collins is your Brighton headquarters with jewelry, handbags, charms, and sunglasses. We invite you to visit Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. The 2025 Wenatchee Pride Festival will be held on Saturday, June 21st at Memorial Park. It's an all-day party and everyone is invited to celebrate equality and inclusivity. There'll be lots of vendors with items for sale and swag, food booths galore, live performances, a youth activity area, and the return of the ever-popular Queer Garden. More information is available at wenatcheepride.org.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
We start the show with the weather forecast. We end the show with the weather forecast because that's the one thing that kind of affects everybody. First of all, red flag warnings. We're used to them around here. We get them all the time. And by golly, we have one again today from 2 o'clock this afternoon until 9 o'clock tonight. If you live in the pink area, you're under the red flag warning because the pressure gradients are going to tighten a little bit. We will see relative humidity below 20%, and that in and of itself is pretty alarming, and it's going to be warm. Going to be a little bit warmer than yesterday. We had 84 yesterday. Will be a little bit warmer than that, but we didn't have any real wind yesterday. Today we do, and tonight for that matter, and then it's going to pick up again on Tuesday night into Wednesday. So we're in for a bit of a windy period with temperatures above normal, but the big thing is the red flag warning from 2 o'clock to 9 o'clock today. We'll see our relative humidity get below 20% at about 1:30 in the afternoon. That's when it's usually at its lowest. So from the National Weather Service, did we mention it's going to be windy today? Quite windy. Sustained winds about 12 to 17 miles per hour this afternoon, but gusts above 30, a distinct possibility. Same deal for tonight. Sustained winds out of the west about 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusts as high as 30 miles an hour tonight. Not a lot of wind on Tuesday, a little bit cooler, and then the wind picks up again Tuesday night and Wednesday, but I don't think we're going to have a red flag warning on Wednesday. It's going to be a little too cool for that, and look at that. A cooling trend, including highs not even to 70 on the first day of summer. Have a good and safe Monday. Start your Tuesday with us tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.